essentially, well, it's 5%. So we're talking about like how much does a home build in equity?
Typically appreciate.
So if you have a $300,000 home you buy, in 6 years, that home statistically appreciating or gaining value 5% every year, that home will be worth $400,000 in 6 years. The same home will be worth $1 million in 25 years. So that's how.
And will be almost paid off.
And we almost paid off at that point. So now you have,
or maybe it will,
an asset that's worth almost $1 million sitting right there. There's a famous quote by Andrew Carnegie, an old time, like 100 years ago, famous billionaire. I mean, his history is shady maybe, but the fact is he knew how to make money. And but he said most millionaires, 90% of the millionaires become so because of real estate.
Right.
Yep.
So
okay, so like a car, you buy it and you lose value and it just until it becomes an antique, then maybe it comes up. On a house, it constantly goes up in value. So if you buy it here, like we we're talking about at the beginning, it's going to be up here in a couple of years. There are moments in history, like 07, 08, the Great Recession. That actually was the only time the house values did drop. Other recessions, home values actually didn't drop. Home values were either level or on a gradual up. But home values only during the Great Recession dropped.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of times people think, all right, well, I'm going to wait for another recession and then I'm going to be able to buy a home for a lot cheaper. That's historically not accurate. You will, unless we hit a huge Great Recession like we did in 07, 08, then you're right. But historically speaking.
But interest rates will probably go up as prices come down, right? And even if home prices come down, here's the thing. That doesn't mean that you've lost money.
Right.
If your neighbors sell, if your home value does, like in 08, if your value comes down, as long as you're paying your mortgage, simple supply and demand. I say this all the time. Our population is growing, our land mass is not. Right. Now, the amount of houses that are being built are, but there's only
we're way behind on inventory. There's not enough homes.
It's so scarce. Yeah. And so it will always, even if it does a little bit up down, it will always come back up historically. And it's not, this is not like a 10 plus year plan. I mean, over the course of 5 years, even like you said, or 6 years, it should statistically appreciate by about $100,000.
By $300,000 home, exactly.
So on a $300,000 home, which is a $9,000 down payment, that's a pretty good return.
It's a pretty dang good return. That's a pretty dang good return.
It's awesome. It's so awesome.